Hey everyone, just back with Pooch Zen. I'm out at Oceanside today. I'm at the jetty. The sun just set. And I'm just kind of taking it all in. Everyone's out surfing, tons of people out. So yeah, I wanted to talk about Alan Watts and how he became a father figure to me. Like my dad passed away when I was 19. I was going to Antelope Valley High School, Lancaster, California, and we had gone to Knott's Berry Farm for like one of those. I think it was prom or something like that. It was some special event. I don't remember. It's so long ago. I was on the bus and coming home, and I was like, I could tell something just felt different, felt a little off, and I just couldn't really explain it. And yeah, it was my dad, and I didn't know it. He had actually passed away, and he had passed away there in the ocean. Like me, he loved going in it. We used to go to the beach on weekends, and my dad was like a 50s guy. He worked for the FAA, so that's air traffic controller, and so his job was basically keeping planes from crashing into each other. But to me, he had a really stressful job, and when he came home, he just kind of checked out. He wasn't really into hanging out with us, and besides going to the beach, and that was about it. And even when we were there, he wouldn't really hang out. So in a lot of ways, I just felt like I grew up with a dad that I didn't really know. Yeah, and so I used to listen to this station in Lancaster that I absolutely love called KCRW. It was a college radio station, and I believe it's based in Santa Monica. And they had this show on there that was called Morning Becomes Eclectic. And I just love, pan a little bit, so you can see, I just love the type of music they had on there. A lot of it was like alternative and electronic world music. And I absolutely loved what I was being exposed to. And eventually, as I kept tuning in, they started playing this guy named Alan Watts. And I was like, who is this guy? I don't know who he is. Never heard of him before. And what I learned that he was a British philosopher, started doing, talking primarily about Taoism and Buddhism and simplifying it. I gotta watch that one. It's tricky because I got waves that are coming to my right. They're right here. So you all know my rule. You don't turn your back on the ocean. Anyway, so yeah, once I discovered Alan Watts, I was just hooked. Like I love the way he presented something, this Eastern philosophy to Westerners in a very simple, straightforward manner. And the underlying theme to a lot of his lectures was like letting go and going with the flow in life. And it's ironic that, I live here, I'm out here in San Diego now, and this is where I find my peace and my calm. And I know it has a lot to do with Alan Watts and my dad. So yeah, I just like really dove into Alan Watts' teaching. I got really into Taoism in general, learning about it, like reading any book I could find that seemed interesting. I read the Tao Ku is a really great one. I feel like if you want to learn about Taoism in a really fun manner, read the Tao Ku by Benjamin Hoff, because it's just so funny because he uses Winnie the Pooh's like appetite for honey and contrast it with Taoism, and then you have all the other characters that are part of the story. It makes it just really like lighthearted and really fun. So I highly recommend that. I'll put a link in the description to go check that out. So I feel like the things that Alan Watts really taught me, the biggest one is he has this thing the more you let go and the more things begin to work. And it's this idea that like a lot of people go through life reacting to things. Like something doesn't go your way, you get really mad and get angry, and you get very like, your emotions just pick up and you can't control yourself. So it's like, and you can learn how to not be reactive to a situation that is totally pissing you off and bothering you. There goes one. That's when you know you've arrived. That's when you know that you have become more present and aware. When you can just flow through life like these waves that are coming at me, and not worry about things. Yes, someone cut you off while you're driving, but like you don't need to do road rage against them. Or like if you work a 9 to 5 job and you have coworkers you don't like, and maybe your manager said something to you, or your coworkers are saying demeaning things or just pissing you off and not being coworkers. You can either be reactive with the situation, or you can be like, you literally just don't give a shit. You just are like, whatever, I'm just gonna just not let it bother me and focus on the good work that I'm doing for this organization or for this business or whatever. So that's what Alan Watts teaches you, is that like the whole point of life is to live it. And I think as humans, we just like find ways to create suffering. And Watts is like, just stop worrying about it and just ebb and flow like the ocean. It's not that big of a deal, but you're making it a big deal. You're up in your head. He calls it mindless chatter. And I used to do that a lot. I used to be all in my head, worrying about stupid shit that I couldn't control. Being upset that things weren't going the way I wanted them to. Being impatient, being a perfectionist. And if you think about that, a lot of that's just like, I was not in the present moment. I'm thinking about the past, or I'm thinking about the future. That's the secret to Alan Watts' teaching. That's the secret for all these people that teach presence. It's like, you have to learn how to be in the here and now, right now. Like I'm recording this video and I'm not thinking about, I'm thinking about the ocean, I'm watching it, but like I'm not worrying about it. I'm not worrying about people watching me or whatever. So that's what I'm saying. That's being in a state of flow. When you can just like, like that, the water coming in. So yeah, that's kind of the short story about like how Alan Watts became the father that I didn't even realize I needed. And I did need him after my dad passed away. I have my mom and my 2 older brothers, but it's just not the same when you have a father figure that's missing in your life, because that father figure gives you guidance on like how to live your life, how to do this, how to ebb and flow and not give a shit about things, to give you the mental support, to give you the physical love, the hugs and all that. I don't have that anymore. It's not in my life, but I have the ocean. I'm here for the dogs. I know what brings me joy. I know where I get my love, and these are the 2 things. Now, I've said this before. Like, the reason why I came with this business name is that this is the Zen. This is right. That's my Zen. The ocean. And I love dogs. Like, I love dogs to death, because I went through some really bad depression, like really, really bad depression around COVID. And I basically didn't want to live anymore. And the dogs like brought me out of all of it. And I'm literally alive because of the dogs. That's why this business is called what it is, because the dogs will give you unconditional love no matter what you're going through. They're always there for you. So is the ocean. If you think about it, those waves, you're getting caressed by them every time you go into that water. So yeah, that's pretty much the short form story of Alan Watts and how he became a father figure in my life. And if you want to go look up his teachings and his lectures, you can go on YouTube and search for Alan Watts, Watts. I'll put a link to my own playlist for Alan Watts. You can go learn from him. And if you're into Taoism, that's the concept underneath Taoism, is like, go with the flow in life, do good deeds, help people, and put out good karma into the world. That's basically if you want to get to as simple as it is. And for me, it just makes sense. It's already how I live my life anyway.